Hi, everybody, and welcome to the next presentation from Exponential Technologies. I'm delighted to introduce Matthias Kaiser, the co-founder and CEO of Exponential Technologies, and he will tell us how they suggest to democratize machine learning in material science today. With that, Matthias, the stage is yours.
Thanks, Christoph, for the introduction. I will tell you a little bit, as Christoph already said, about how to democratize machine learning, or actually data science in material science. And when we look at different industries, for example, chemical industry, biotechnologies, additive manufacturing, and many others, the manufacturing methods, the materials, and everything around gets more and more complicated. That also means that R&D gets more complicated, has to get more complicated, because companies have to basically stay relevant in their field, and that means they have to invest more time, more money in R&D, and of course deal also with much more complicated problems, much more complicated machines, and much more complicated materials. However, the problem that there is, or a little bit of disconnect between these two sides, is that R&D is still pretty old school. Many companies have not yet moved to storing their data in a good way. That means there's a data chaos, a pen and paper, Excel, whatever. Everybody's using different names for different things. There are very inefficient approaches to doing experimentation, like one factor at a time optimization, or a little bit more efficient design of experiment, but still very inefficient. Then there's often a disconnect between production and R&D, or also then the market and R&D, and supply chain and R&D, for example. And that all leads to suboptimal products and processes. And in the end, when all of this process is through, you have your workers that have gained all of the knowledge out of this, and in the worst case scenario, they leave the company and take all of their know-how with them. So this is all problems that R&D today has. The answer to all of this is basically data. Data is the answer. Data science, machine learning, and all the good things you can do with data is the answer to that. And that can lead to shortening of R&D cycles. It can lead to a reduction of R&D and production costs later on. And if you do it right, it digitalizes not just your processes and your data, but also your know-how, your teamwork, and basically the knowledge base that your company is building. That means, of course, it's an amazing opportunity for many companies, and there are also already tools out there who do that. However, many of these tools, or most of these tools actually, focus on the data scientist. So there are tools for data scientists, from data scientists, that basically make their life a little bit easier, or introduce some new workflows, or things like this. The problem with this is that not every company has a data scientist, and even if they have a data scientist, then it's usually not, or it is not the only stakeholder involved in that process, right? The lab technician, chemist, managers, head of R&D, and many other stakeholders in the game. And the data scientist basically currently does more like a firefighting role, where they try to keep everybody in line, try to keep the data clean, and try to do the best to get more efficient processes. However, actually how it should be is that the data scientist takes over a more management role and manage the processes instead of firefighting. This is the optimal case. However, often currently it is not like that. Sorry. And basically what we're doing with our solution is we're building such a platform, and I want to tell you a little bit, first of all, like for what we're actually using this, so that it becomes more clearer. And then I want to go in some case studies. This will be the main part, to basically tell you a little bit more out of the field. So our solution is used for the development and optimization for machine parameters, chemical formulations, materials. You can use it for anomaly analysis in production, and you can develop predictive models. Mostly automated. That means it is not necessary that there is a data scientist involved. However, if there is a data scientist, there's also possibilities to involve that data scientist and